me again. This is my second This is my second video, and yes, I am wearing one of my winter pajama tops in June. It's cold. I get very cold really easily. But with the sun, it's been quite nice, but it's really overcast and I think it's gonna rain soon. And I always get really cold when I see rain. I don't know why. It's weird. For this video, I just thought I'd give you a bit of sort of background of me and what my past is and my journey has been like. So let's get into it. Just a disclaimer, as of today, because I haven't weighed myself today, I am down 30 pounds. That is 2 stone and 2 pounds. And I'm so happy. I'm really happy. It's an achievement that I didn't think I would get to be honest. I've always struggled with my weight from when I was very young. My mum always said that I had tree trunks as thighs when I was younger, and I did. I had quite thicker thighs, and yeah, my parents, when they cook, they cooked quite voluminous meals, if that makes sense. They were quite big portions. And my brother always had a really good metabolism, and he's very tall, very lanky. But I never had that luxury. I would just be slightly bigger than other people my age, for up until about high school. And then high school, I sort of broke apart from that, and I became just a bit bigger. And then in college, well, let's backtrack a bit. I had some things happen, some very personal, very hard things to go through when you were a kid / teenagers, so like in my teenage years. And then I went to college and started getting a tiny bit depressed. It wasn't full-on depression at that time, but other things started happening, and I don't want to air, because it's not just me, it's my whole family, and I don't want to air dirty laundry and feelings out on the internet. Let's just say stuff happened that can make it very hard for someone my age. I can say one thing: I did become a carer for one of my parents. I became their carer. I'm not their carer anymore, because they've had operations, and we changed carer duties over to my other parent, because I'm no longer living with them. So yeah, during high school and college, things just started tumbling a little bit, and it became slightly hard, and my emotions were just a bit all over the place, because I wasn't fully an adult yet, but I did have to grow up quite a bit from the age I was. And then university hit. University is a great time in my life. No horrible memories at all. My first year of university was really good. I enjoyed it. By this time I was about over 20 stone. And up until the end of my first year, I was still a virgin. That's how much no one wanted to touch me. Never had a boyfriend. I was always the person that people did little bits of stuff with, but never committed. And it never was a problem for me until you get to that sort of age around your 20s when you're like, I actually do want someone. Then it can start to get hard when you're trying to find someone and all they want is a bit of ass, you know. But yeah, because it's your first year of uni and you get all this money that like grants and loans and stuff, and part of them you do have to pay back, but only if you earn over a certain amount of money in life after that. So you get all this money. My family's not well off, so I got quite a bit of money from university. Sorry, I'm just eating a banana and it clogs me up a bit. But yeah, my first year, it was mainly I'm on my own for the very first time. My God, I'm in a different place. Oh my God, there's takeaways. There's this place that I can eat at. There's this that I can eat because I'm not bound to what my parents say, because they did give us big meals, but they would always be like, if I had a chocolate bar or if I had too much, they'd be like, that's enough. Like, they had a limit. I just always snuck. Is that the right term to use? Because it's not sneaked. Snuck. I would sneak. There we go, that's better. I would sneak food from the kitchen, hide it around my person, and then go upstairs and then eat my secret shame from my parents. I did that quite a lot when I was younger. So yeah, I started eating quite a lot in uni because no one, you know, I was with people my age and no one could tell me what I could and couldn't eat. So it was mainly McDonald's, just takeaways, pizza, all that shebang. And obviously when you go on a night out, you have to go to a takeaway after, and our favourite thing to get was a cheesy chip wrap. They were good. They were really good. So then I went into debt. My parents bailed me out of that debt in my overdraft for my student card that I had. I went into an overdraft. My parents bailed me out, and then second year hit, and I started trying to get my life back in order. I started eating better. I went to see a dietitian. I exercised because we had this gym where we could go for free within university. Because at that point I was starting to get to a weight that I didn't like. And it worked for a bit and I started to lose weight, but then so sorry. One of my parents went to the hospital. They got admitted to the hospital. And it was quite a scary time. They had pneumonia and it was quite bad. So I had to go home and stay with them for like a couple of weeks. And then after that, when I went back to university, nothing was the same. I started eating, I started not caring. I went to my doctor's where I was at university because it was starting to scare me. The fact that I was eating and eating and eating and I just wasn't feeling anything. Like, what the emptiness that I was feeling wasn't, it wasn't like dissipating or anything. It was just still there and I had no idea what to do. And that's when they told me that I had depression. I'd already had anxiety before that. I was a child when I was diagnosed with anxiety because I could never go into a shop. I could never talk to people when I was younger. Like, I turned from this really loud, obnoxious little girl to then early teens. I couldn't do anything by myself. I needed someone there and I needed someone to do the talking because I'd just stand there. Just if someone talked to me, I'd run away because I had no idea what to do and what to say. I was just too scared. So I already had anxiety before then. And now I was diagnosed with depression. Like, I still get depressed every now and again. Like, I still get in that depressive state, but nowhere near as bad as then. Like, I wasn't getting out of bed. I was missing, I'd miss uni a couple of times. Sometimes I'd fake being ill just to go home. It got to the point in my third year where I'd only leave. I smoked as well. That was when I got really big into smoking. So the only time I'd leave in my third year was to go get food. This is my room and my bed. To go get food and to go for a cigarette. Those are the only times that I would leave my bed, and usually it'd be to Tesco's to grab like 2 to 3 sandwiches, a shit ton of crisps, shit ton of chocolate, like a Coke and stuff. And that'd be like my breakfast / lunch. I might go to Burger King and just grab a shit ton, like 2 or 3 burgers. I love their onion rings there. And then for my tea, every single day, I would go to McDonald's. I'd walk there because it was only around the corner. And I would order a Big Tasty or one of their classic burgers. And then I'd order a chicken burger, like a McChicken sandwich. And then I'd order either a cheeseburger or a double cheeseburger. And I'd get like 2 lots of chips with it. And then sometimes I get like a muffin. And it was a lot of food for every single meal. And it was just because I wasn't caring anymore. And like, I used to love, I love food. I love the taste of food. I love the way that food makes me feel because I'm an emotional eater. If I'm happy, I'm like, yeah, let's get a takeaway. If I'm sad, I want to eat my feelings. I want to cry as I eat. But because I was doing this, it was, getting me quite scared and like I didn't know what to do and everything. So they told me that I needed to go see like a therapist and go see a counsellor at my university. So I went to go see them, and I was talking about what I was going through when I was younger, and how I felt when I was depressed. And then we went on my relationship with food, which from when I was a kid, always enjoyed food. Yeah, always enjoyed it. But at this point, they diagnosed me with binge eating disorder. That was a barrel of laughs. I was like, what else? What else? And it was, it was just, yeah, it got to the point where I just think about food, and I won't even think about like the healthy side of food. It'd just be how much can I get, how much can I eat, to just try and numb this feeling. I was obsessed. I was literally obsessed with food for a little while. And because I was sort of in a depressive state, I didn't care. So I gained a lot of weight and I just didn't care. And then I was given some techniques to help. I was given like some mindful techniques, and you know, if you think about food, because like when I start thinking about food, it never stops. It never goes away. Like sometimes I'll get angry if I say, "Oh, can we get this?" And then my partner's like, "Oh, no." And I'm like, after that, if someone says no to me, I get really angry. And it's like an actual hatred towards the person who denies me. Backtracking a bit, I come back from uni, and you know, I have the tools to deal with what I need, but I just ignore them and I don't use them, and I'm like, oh, I'll be fine. You know, I'm feeling emotions again. It's all right. It's all good. You know, I'll be fine. But I wasn't. I continued smoking. I actually got a job, but that enabled me to order my own food. I actually quite a few times ordered a Burger King to the house with my parents not knowing. I'd come home from work, buy like a massive pizza for my tea, which was alone like 1,000, 2,000 calories. And then I'd then get like a massive share bag of crisps. I'd get like a big bar of chocolate. I'd get a sausage roll from Sainsbury's. It was a lot, and I was still eating quite a lot, even when I went to the gym to lose weight for my holiday that I went on in October of last year, 2019. We went to Florida to go to all parks, and I tried to lose weight, but I didn't focus on the eating side of it. I just thought, if I'm exercising, it'll be fine, which it wasn't fine. I carried on gaining weight. And then during this time I met my partner, Jordan, and he would enable me some. Like, it wasn't his fault. He just wanted to make me happy, and food made me happy. But he'd sometimes question it, but I'd always be able to change his mind, which is really bad on me. But yeah, so, you know, we'd go out, we'd constantly go out, constantly eat. But now we're in our own place. And when we first moved in here, in the first month, I think we spent about £400 just on takeaways. God, it sounds bad when you say it like that. But then it got to the point again where I was hiding food from him, because like he'd go to work, and instead of having stuff that I knew that I could have that was in the kitchen, I'd order food. I'd order from a cafe, but it wasn't even just one thing. Every single time I'd order a bottle of Coke, I'd order a large breakfast sandwich, which had like lots of sausages, bacon, eggs, hash browns, mushrooms, you know, and a lot of sauce on it and everything. And they were like huge, like I'd say same size or maybe bigger than my face. And then I'd get either a panini, I'd get a hot dog, and they were quite large as well, like 12 inches or something. You know, like the size of like a Subway sandwich, like a large one. It's kind of like that. and then I'd order a large like ham salad sandwich, just because I saw them, I wanted them, and I didn't care if I got full, I'd still keep eating. I'd keep eating them until they were all gone, because I just couldn't leave them. I couldn't leave them, and I just liked the way that they made me feel. They made me happy. They made me content for a little while, and then after it, I'd lose it, and then I'd have to deal with everything again. But also around that time, I was told that I have a gluten intolerance. So that's nice. Now every time I have a sandwich, it hurts my stomach. So that's kind of helped me a little bit. But yeah, after that, I got this skin condition, which it flares up if, you know, when you're bigger and stuff like that. So all of those just sort of came crashing down on me at one point, and I cried. I do that a lot. If anything, any little inconvenience happens in my life, I cry. And like my mind goes into a depressive state, and I think that everything's my fault. Everything's against me, everyone's against me, everyone hates me, and my life is a fucking mess. Why am I living? You know, stuff like that. So I went through one of them states about my weight because I'd hit 25 stone 1. And it was that point where I decided I need to do something. So we decided to make our kitchen gluten-free. And I just started watching what I was eating what my body needed instead of what I wanted. Like sometimes it is still hard, and sometimes like my coping mechanisms and my mindful tricks that I use to cope with the binge eating, it doesn't work. Sometimes it doesn't work, but most of the time it does. And I've come to the conclusion now, after losing 30 pounds in 2.5 months, still so happy about that. If I allow myself one cheat meal every 2 weeks, that's sustainable for me. And I can do that. I had the last one, Thursday. It's Saturday today. I had it Thursday. Just give you a date. It's Saturday the 20th of June. Yeah, because yesterday went 19th. So I had it on the 18th, and today's the 20th. So the next time I'll allow myself, like we had a pizza from Pizza Hut, but we shared a pizza, shared some sides, which I was very happy about because I usually want like one pizza to myself. So I still get the love of the pizza, but me and Jordan are sharing the burden. So yeah, the next time I have a takeaway will be the first weekend in July, which I'm happy about. And I always say I want to lose as much weight as I can. I don't want to push myself to lose so much weight. I'll just do what I'm doing, and then if my body wants to lose the weight, it'll lose the weight. Sometimes I'll maintain for a couple of days and then I'll lose like 1 to 2 pounds. Sometimes I'll lose a pound a day. It's just, it completely depends on what my body wants to do and how my body is that week, then that day. So, but yeah, that's just a brief history, 25 minutes of a brief history of me. Just a little insight to how I am, what struggles I go through, how I'm dealing with them. If you want sort of like a more in-depth of how I deal with it and sort of an example, maybe me explaining like a day of me on track and then a day of me being a bit more lenient with myself, I can do that. Just thought this one would be just a bit more of a get to know me, get to know where I'm coming from, and everything. So hope you enjoyed that. If you haven't, subscribe. I don't know where the subscribe button is. I'm horrible at this. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to start a discussion, if you'd like to share your story, where you come from, if it's similar or different to mine. Like, I know everyone's experiences can be similar but different because of each individual person, how they deal with the stuff that they're given. So yeah, it'd be nice to have a little discussion with some people about where they are, where they've come from. That'd be nice. So yeah, if you like to give it a comment, give it a like, give me a subscribe, and I will see you next week for another video, which I haven't planned yet. I'm so good. Bye.